Hello, Game Dev Diary number 3. So today is April 30th of 2024, 2 a.m. So let's begin. So in my last video, I don't remember what I talked in my last video, but basically here's what I added. So when I click find servers, I have a server item. Now, I think I talked about it in the last time. Basically, when I click this, I wanted to make a widget and to open it up. So if I come right here, I kind of have my game packaged. So I added that. So let me show you. Boom, find servers. Boom, makes a widget, and you can see a server name, yada yada. Makes the widget button here. Also, the other cool thing I added, where I encountered a problem right now, which I'll talk about. So basically, I wanted this functionality too, to where when I click the server item, right, I can see the server. But I can always also press escape to leave, and basically I destroy the widget. I'll show you the code. So I can do that, but here's the caveat. For this to work, it only works by if I click the server item and I don't click anything else, and then I can escape. But if I click the server item and then I click again on the screen, I can't press it. I can't press escape, but it doesn't do anything because here I'll show you how the code works. The code is just flawed, and I think I need to redo the whole system. But here's how it works. So here's how I added the key for UUserWidget. I couldn't find a good tutorial. It's actually pretty simple. I don't need this right now. I don't need this. So basically, how I added the key input, the keyboard input, was this. It's very simple actually. So here's my server item widget class, this one right here. This is a widget right here, and so I'm in that class, in my server item user widget class. All I did was I made there's this virtual function, virtual. I'll remove my camera just in case. So virtual f reply native on key down const yada yada geometry bullshit. But this is the function you got to override in the UUserWidget class. Boom. It's basically the native function. There's another one, f reply on key down, but you need to use a native one or it's not going to work. So this is the entire code. Boom. So now in the CPP file, here's the things that you put in. So you don't really have to do this, although I did it. I got this from ChatGPT, by the way. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I learned about this. I was having a tough time. So you don't need to call this you can just do reply.onHandle, but just fucking do this. So basically it calls a super version. Nice. And then in the eKey event, we get the key, and if it equals to A, we can run the, okay, I'm being a little fucking idiot right now because I'm getting a little fucked up with this, because this should be, here, I already changed my code up a little bit. Fuck. So basically what it does, we get the key event, we do .get key equals to A. You can select anything. You can put escape like I did before. I was just trying to fix a thing I'm going to talk about in the later right now. But all you have to do, copy this. E key event dot get key equals to the key that you wanna. Whenever you press it, it'll basically run the code inside. So basically, when this key gets clicked, escape, it'll run the code inside of here. And yeah, so boom, and then return f reply handled. That basically means it tells it to basically it tells the function, hey, we ran this function. You don't need to do anything anymore. You can just stop right there. If it doesn't work out, if it's if this doesn't get run and it just returns, it does this. ChatGPT said this, hey, just in case, there's other functionality that needs to run, you don't really need to do this. you can just do freply unhandled down here. You know, boom. Come on, you fucker. Rev, wait up. Return freply unhandled. Boom, you can do that too. Master programmer, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Just here's the code. If you copy it and you do exactly the same shit, it'll work. Just, you know, put your key that you wanna, whenever you press it, it runs this code. Which for me, I removed it. My bad. It's not here anymore. So yeah, but the problem is whenever I click A, sweet, I can go back, like it's a success, but I don't have the function to like remove it from the screen. Maybe I have it here. And now I was changing my code up a lot and I deleted that code. It basically, all it does is just removes it for the parent, the widget. So basically just removes it. But the thing is, Leslie, it's working now. I can skate back forward, but if I press it, it won't work anymore. So if you press on the widget, it won't work anymore, because I'm suspecting, because the thing is, so this is in the server item widget, right? This thing, this key that's being pressed, it's in the server item user widget class. So basically it's in, whenever we would click, we're still in the server item widget. So we clicked it. Now the way I have the server item set up is in find servers, I have a widget switcher. Actually, no, I don't even have a widget switcher in here. All I have is basically, you know, it's another class, uFind server user widget. And inside of here, I have a scroll box, and I placed my server item widget, which is right here. So where was it getting at? It's here. And I think the computer still thinks that I'm still, you know, it's still on the server item user widget. And as I press on the screen, I'm now in the join server user widget. So now, since I'm in the join server user widget, this key doesn't work anymore because I'm in this class now. So, you know, it works when I don't click on it, but once I click onto it, I'm in this class now, not in the server item user widget. As I click, I get into the server, join server menu. So this is my problem. I can click on it and I can, you know, escape, you know, remove it from the screen. It's not removed because I removed the function. But as I press, you can see the success, boom, boom, boom. As you see, as I press onto it, now I'm still pressing, but it's not showing up. The code is not working anymore. And that's because I'm now in this function now. Well, in this, you know, user widget, which is the join server widget, which doesn't have this code. Now I did add this code here in the other class, and it didn't work for some reason. Like even if I do the same shit, let's go here real quick. Boom. Let's do public. I'm gonna fucking probably have to redo all this, which I don't mind. I'm learning. It's all part of the process. Let me do a quick test so I can. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that my mic didn't fuck up. It's not like robotic key or something. But if we do this, boom. Same exact function. I mean, it should work, right? Because, like, why shouldn't it work? Boom, press A, works. I click, and it doesn't work. That's kind of the weird part. Is because I'm in the class now, and I still have the same function right here, but it doesn't work. That's kind of weird. Now, I don't, because the thing, like, this is, my code just sucks dick, man. It's, fuck me. I need to make a base class, so that's what I'll talk about next. But I don't, because the thing is, I'm creating the widget in my server item user widget. So I'm creating the widget in my I'm creating my join server menu user widget in my server item user widget. And it works here. My code just sucks balls. I can't even explain you it either way. I don't know how this is working. Like, it should work, right? Because what this is doing right now, I don't know, future Nikita's fucking laughing at this code. It's like, well, what the fuck are you doing, dummy? But basically, when I click the server item, it creates the widget. That's what this code does right here. It creates it. I literally click the server item button clicked, creates it, and then it runs the join server menu setup, which basically just adds it to the viewport, and that's it. Yeah. What if I do this? Well, it doesn't. Then I have to add and this is like the thing. Okay, like, I should not be doing this right here, because my code just sucks dick. It just sucks dick. So my biggest problem right now is I need to be able to communicate with all my classes. I have my join server menu user widget. I'm just gonna say, I'm not even gonna say the fucking user widget. It's so repetitive. But I have my join server menu. I have my server item. I have my main menu item. Well, my main menu. They're all user widgets. I have my find servers menu, and I have all these menus. And now so I have all these menus, and I want to be able to easily communicate with all of them, and also inherit some functions too from all of these. At least I think so. The one function I'm thinking of is like just clicking the back button. I don't know, man. And the thing is, like, you don't know what you don't know. Like, I don't know what I need. This is where experience can come from. I've been debating, like, I need to, like, I bought, well, my parents kind of forced me, but, I basically was forced into taking driving lessons, paying $50 an hour. $55 an hour Canadian to my driver. He's a good driver instructor. But it's like, I need to start putting some money aside for my learning, because I need to. Because I need to experience a guy who's been doing this for years to, like, tell me, because when you have a guy who is experienced, he can, like, tell you exactly, hey, he can bring not ideas, he can bring his experience and put it into your fucking head. Hey, you do this, you need to do this, why you're not doing this? And he tells you what you don't even have in mind. Like, you're not even aware of the things that you need to know that will benefit you, but you just don't know they exist. And that's what a mentor does, is he just tells you shit that you don't even know but you need to know, but you don't know because you don't have experience. Yeah. So yeah, I think I need a base class. Yeah. My idea of having a base class, I know you can, like, make a base class, and then you can basically make every function virtual, and then all these other classes inherit from the base class, and then you can use the virtual functions, and you can override them to make your own implementation for each class. But my biggest thing I want right now, because my biggest problem is I need to do some weird shit to be able to communicate with these classes. Because, for example, where do I have a thing right here? Join server. So here's, like, one thing I can show you. Well, actually, let me tell you what I wanted to do before. So here's just an example of, well, fucking nobody's watching this shit, but from my entertainment, I guess. I wanted to basically do this. I didn't want to create the widget here in this class. So, you know, I click my join server menu, gets created inside of the server item user widget. I want to run this functionality inside of my actual join server class, not here. Although it kind of makes sense because, you know, server item button, you know, I click the server item, it creates it here. But I kind of was planning on creating this widget, running this function inside of the class itself and it here. But, you know, I need to, but the thing is that I wouldn't know how to, because I would need to basically run this. If I ran this function here, I need to be able to click, you know, this is where my server item button is. And how could I run this function if I don't have a valid pointer to this thing? This thing creates the valid pointer, which makes I can access this class right here, where I can actually access this class from here because I created the widget in the class. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense. But, you know, another thing I wanted to do, which I used a delegate to fix, to solve my problem. If I go to find servers, where is it? So I made a delegate, and so I made a delegate on my find server widget. Boom, delegate. And when I click the back button, so this is what it does. So this is the other encounter I had problems with. So I wanted to, so here's the find servers button. I'll click the button find servers, and I also wanted to go back. And I couldn't, and the way I access to go back to the server menu is using a widget switcher. What I wanted to do before was basically, so I'll just show you how the code works. I made a delegate on find servers menu. Boom, made a delegate, a dynamic delegate, and then on the back button, which right here, god fucking damn it. Where is it? Boom. Find servers. This is the back button. When I click it, it calls the delegate. God damn it, I keep opening up that shit. It executes, basically calls the delegate saying, hey, got called, dummy. And here, I did a find servers menu cast. So basically, I got a valid pointer to find servers menu because I have a widget switcher on my main menu. And this is how I got the link to basically communicate between two classes, was because in my main menu, I have a widget switcher, which is find servers menu. And through that widget switcher on main menu, I could do main menu widget switcher, get widget index, get widget at index 1. That's where it's located, because there's like two widgets. There's this one and this one. So 0, 1. And I got a valid pointer and basically a way to communicate and access my find server user menu widget. And, you know, now I can communicate, and basically on my main menu, I binded, you know, I got my find server, binded my delegate whenever it gets called on the, you know, on the button gets called. I binded that delegate, so when it gets called, it runs this function on main menu, which basically returns to main menu, just sets the widget index back to 0. So that's how I created a link through a delegate. What I would want to do personally, easier, I think, and just more simple, was, hey, I go to my find servers, you know, class, and all I do is I get a pointer to main. You know, you do main menu user widget. I get my pointer to my main menu. Boom. So I have a pointer to my main menu. Yay, it's valid. Main menu. Get my main menu. Where the fuck is it? Main menu. Widget switcher. Where the fuck is it? Boom, main menu. Main menu widget switcher. Let's make this public. Main menu widget switcher. I think that's how it works. Main menu. Hey, I got access to my main menu widget switcher. And then I could have a set like, hey, set it back to 0, or I could have it to like 0, and basically sets the main menu widget switcher back to 0. And that's simple because 0 is my, widget that goes back to, the empty border box, and you can see the main menu. The empty border box is also collapsed and like basically invisible. The renderer is 0. Right here is 0 and it's collapsed. So you can actually click on the thing. I don't know if that's how you do it. The proper way of doing it. But that's how I would want to do it. But instead I have to call it delegate because this pointer is invalid. Because how do I get it? I don't know how to get it. Because my find servers widget doesn't have a clue that main menu exists. It just doesn't. It doesn't have any idea that there's a main menu widget. My main menu has idea that the find server menu does exist because it's in the widget blueprint in the blueprint editor. But my find servers doesn't have a clue that there's a main menu. So how the fuck can you communicate with that? So I had to use a delegate instead, only because my main menu had the widget switcher find server in the widget switcher and main menu. That's the only reason I could have even binded that delegate to the main menu. So I could actually run the code. Yeah. So I think I need a base class. I don't know really though if it's gonna help me though, but it's worth a try. Plus it can, I don't know. I just don't know. Don't know shit. God, thank God there's like ChatGPT and YouTube, but like, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, making games. I want to master it. That's how I want to make my money. I enjoy doing it, and the better I get, because like the thing that I keep telling myself is, once I learn all these skills, like I can create any dream I wanted. I can bring my ideas in my head to reality, and have people play them. Like the best part of like making games for me though is, well, I think for most developers is actually like seeing other players play your game, and you kind of have a feeling of like you're like a god, like you're shaping this experience for players. It's gonna be worth it, all this fucking effort. And the thing is, it's it ain't gonna be easy to like. There's so much shit to learn. Basically, there won't be a day where you won't have to learn something new, and basically, like every time you overcome an obstacle, there'll be another one waiting right after, and it just won't stop. Yeah, that's kind of like the hard part. Is like once you overcome one obstacle, there's another one waiting for you, and the cycle repeats. But it's kind of like it's like those movies where it's exactly kind of like the movie where like that fucking Tom Cruise movie where like they're fighting aliens and shit, and he like every time he dies, he like comes back, like he basically gets to live life again. I don't know that movie. I can actually type it in Google. It's fucking. It was a very popular movie. What's the movie called where Tom Cruise keeps dying? Edge of Tomorrow. That's the movie. Basically, he keeps fucking dying, but I don't know. That's a good like fucking analogy I'm trying to say, but basically, he fails, and then you can like see him. He's getting better. He's seeing patterns, and he basically like every time he dies, with every new life, with every like obstacle that he lives through, and he overcomes one obstacle, and then he goes to the next one, and then he fucking dies because he never encountered that obstacle before. But then he comes back and he knows how to handle it. He knows how to basically solve it or like overcome it, and it's just a vicious cycle of like you make some progress, and then there's another obstacle and it fucks you up, and it kind of like kills you, it defeats you, and you kind of like die because you get frustrated, and then you come back, and you kind of like you try again, and eventually you fucking kill that thing, and then on to the next one, and it just keeps repeating until you make a fucking game. Eventually you keep the cycle going, and eventually you learn your way to like actually making a fucking game. It's kind of what I'm doing. I'm like learning how to make UIs. I already learned how to make my player move right here. If we go to testing ground, like I learned how to do this. Boom. Replicate it too. You can have I replicate this shit too, so it's like multiplayer ready. At least I hope so. So these are the two clients. You can see how I moves. Oh, learned this. I defeated this level boss. So now I know how to do this, and now I'm to the next challenge of learning how to make my fucking menus. Yeah, so it'll be worth it once I get enough skills to be able to turn anything I want into reality. Yeah. That's the thing that keeps me, hopeful. Is with like everything, every time I learn something new, just adds it to my tool belt. And eventually my tool belt, my tool set gets equipped with enough tools and knowledge that I'll be able to build any game I want. Yeah. Yeah. And it's also like, oh, how could I make a game? It's taking too long. But it's like you're in the like. The beautiful thing is when you like dedicate your life to something, is like you don't really cry about like not being able to like make a game. Like, yeah, if you're like pinched for money and you're like in a rush, like, oh, I have to make a game in a year, or like, oh, I need to know everything to make this dream game, because I'm kind of like I wouldn't even say this is my dream game if it's kind of game I wanted. Like my fucking document, I didn't like really talk about it. I showed it before in the previous GDDs. In the previous fucking game dev diaries. But I'm making this game right here, and I don't know, not a dream game. I had a dream game and I didn't want to make it anymore. Yeah. Where was I going? So yeah, like, you know, since I'm doing this for my entire life, I think I have a lot of time. I mean, I'm turning 20 in July 26th, so it's like about like 3 months from now, kind of, yeah. So if I spend 10 years trying to do this, I think by 10 years I'll have a fucking game already out there. Yeah, definitely with this progress that I'm making, like if I'm slaying the whatever the fucking boss this is right now. I'm slaying the menu boss. So yeah, like as long as you like go on the attack every single day, you'll make progress because you're actively fucking fighting these monsters. All these obstacles. Yeah. And after like, just imagine like you know, keep on this pace of like, you know, learning new shit, you know, making your game and like obstacle by obstacle. Eventually, with enough time, if you give it enough time, you would have overcame enough obstacles to where you actually know how to make a game. You know, you learn replication, you learn UI, you learn generally how to do all this shit. Like, you know, you have your game, you're building it, and you're building it piece by piece, and you're learning. Okay, I need to make my player walk. You learn how to make it walk. Okay, now how do I replicate this like animation? These are variables that are driving the replication because the movement component is already replicated by default in Unreal. I really just had to I'm updating speed, my speed variable, which checks which sees like basically updates the animation. I'm basically just updating two things. Well, there's, you know, also another variable called can run, basically to see if I can run or not, because whenever I press A, I want it to go false. So I'm replicating three variables: a boolean to check if I can run or not. Like if I'm like going sideways, I can't run. Had to replicate that. Had to replicate my direction changes. So if I go left, I walk left. If I go right, I walk right. Backwards, boom. I made these animations myself, and I made this character by myself. You know, I spent a week learning retopology, doing that. So like piece by piece, you learn enough to where you can move on. Doesn't have to be special or top tier, but just good enough. Because my goal is like, the way I view of making games, like you make your prototype and you just make a, you know, minimal viable product, a fucking prototype. Now, my prototype, and there's like I actually mean like a base game, like multiplayer included prototype. But a prototype, it doesn't have all the features, but it has the base features. So it doesn't, like, if you have like, in my game, like there's going to be a lot of swords, like a lot of weaponry melees. You can like craft and shit. But, you know, you don't have to have like 10 different fucking weapons before you launch. You can have, hey, I want to have like a wooden fucking club in the game and a sword. And that's it. Basically just create like just the base features. And that's it. Base weapon, like you don't need more. You basically just want to give the players, you want to give just players something to say, hey, this is what the game is going to be about. And also explaining what it is, and, you know, give them like a little starter pack to like, hey, this is what it can be, and this is what it's meant to be, and this is what it is. And, you know, I keep working on it, adding more weapons and shit, more armor, yada yada. But basically give the players the idea what the type of game it is, and, you know, get them to support the development and shit. Yeah. No, I don't know. Let's see. What time is it? It's 34 minutes already. Yeah, Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna go figure out how to like make this base class work and to see if it actually is gonna help me do what I want. I want to be able to communicate between all my menu classes, well, user widget classes easily. Let's see if that's gonna work. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, having base classes is a part of the game. It's like when you're doing object-oriented programming, like that's what it's really about, base class. I kind of already have, I experienced with base classes before, like, you know, you have your item, that item can like like sinusoidal behavior. We learned that from Stefan Burl. It's the guy on the game dev Udemy courses, made like the course slash where he teaches you to make the game slash. And then like you have a weapon inherited from that item class, so you can bob and for. Basically, kind of already experienced it. I don't know if this is what I need though. I don't know, but you know, I'll test it out, give it a try. Yeah. Learning motherfucker. So that's about it. Thank you for watching.